as the year goes on, I get closer and closer.
To learn new skills and to build new acumen.
We can always touch. It's not.
When you get that, then you get a lot more excited about being around children.
Normal, in a sense, with all of the changes, of course.
Or how you can transform your own business.
On developing the whole child, socially, emotionally.
Traditional route of teaching young people
how to set boundaries, because this little victim here needs to know how to
do very well, so they use that term.
Sometimes expanded them to go up to 40 minutes.
All of those things in education, of course, those things are important.
Student is going to our heads and our lungs.
The affirmations in the mirror for about 2 minutes.
What did you do in order to get yourself going?
This is amazing.
It happens, what seems to happen quite a bit in our school.
For the families to come, and they
is that really for the child, or is it for us, for the parent?
And doing new things for our brain.
Who's orchestrating everything in this universe?
Which parts of the brain are used?
Based on that map that we have.
See you with your smiling face.
Atul, thank you very much for allowing me to join you. Namaste to you, my friends.
Hello, namaskar, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us from different parts of the world to our Early Childhood Global Spotlight talk show. My name is Atul, and I'm a proud member and founder of this wonderful community. I'm also co-founder of a preschool chain, Wow Kids in India. We have more than 225 centers spread across 21 states of our country. Wow Kids is winner of 24 national awards, and we are proud to announce that we've recently won 2 prestigious awards, which is Best Preschool Chain of the Year 2022, and also awarded for innovation and excellence in early childhood education and development in 2 different forums recently. We at Wow Kids are also honored to have been featured on the cover page and cover story in a reputed CIO magazine recently. All right. For those who are new to this show, generally the purpose and intent of this show is to understand and explore the most important time in child's early years of growth, especially from birth to 6 years of age. We invite experts on different subjects from across the globe related to early childhood and have them share their experiences, knowledge with our community. But today is a very special day, as we have kept this exclusive program for a book launch. Yes, we are launching a book titled Building Brains with Music, authored by our very own MarHarman, who is the founder of Music with Mar. So Mar is showing you that wonderful book. She is also the moderator of our global community. We were also supposed to be joined by Liz Hinsanen. Let's see if she can get on. She's having trouble to get online. So we are still waiting for her. Now, before we get started, let me quickly introduce you to Maryann, who is the author, and she's the author of this wonderful book. MarHarman is a music educator with a bachelor's degree in music and a master's in education with an emphasis in early childhood, and is certified in level 1 ORF. These degrees contribute to her ability to write songs that are musically and educationally sound for children, as well as fun and easy to use for teachers and parents. She is the founder of the internationally enjoyed Music with Mar brain research-based program, Music with Mar International, Beijing, China, and she has also hosted BAM Radio Music and Learning Channel. Mar has written songs for Dr. Becky Bailey's I Love Your Rituals, Kaplan LED program, and has also won a John Lennon Songwriters Award. She has recently completed 12-hour certification in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Mar has also done a TEDx talk titled Building Brains in Music. She is a sought-after speaker for her knowledge, passion, and entertaining delivery. Mar is also on the advisory board of Wow Kids and also moderator of our community. Today, we are proud to launch her book, Building Brains with Music, and we shall talk in detail very soon. Welcome, Mar, to the show.
Yay! So good to be here. So good to be here.
A short video on a book launch. All right. So let's get ready.
All right.
Your phone just buzzed. All right. Here we go.
Sorry.
That was a very short and crispy video that we
had.
Cute. Great. I hope you liked it. I did.
I did.
All right. It's wonderful to be back on Spotlight, Mar, with you again. And Mar, let's get started with our talk show today with a very important question.
I'm looking to see who has joined us. Wow. Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So, Mar, you have more than 30 years of experience and you've been conducting music with Mar classes. We also took your certification at Wow Kids and we've been using your program here at Wow Kids. But still, I want to ask you today that what inspired you to write this book? Your program was so nice and we really adapted it so well. You did a wonderful training for Wow Kids staff and our director Preeti. And so what inspired you to write this book, Building Brains with Music?
Well, it's kind of been in the making for many years because I often have parents and teachers that'll say to me, all the things that you say in class, all the things you say at workshops, where can I find them? Like, do you have them in a book? And I thought, well, that's a good idea. So I started compiling things and just over the years kept writing little bits and pieces here and there. And last year, I contacted Dr. Kathleen Friend, who released her book, and The Greatness Chair. And I asked her about her publisher and we got hooked up. And now the book is live and I'm excited about it because it is concise, small tidbits about all the little things we do that are so functional. Like when you don't think about that, if you get kids up and move them around a little bit, are you wasting time? Are you actually doing something? So the book just goes step by step from when a woman's pregnant all the way through, and then even mentioning things for adults themselves that music is helpful with.
Amazing.
Excuse me.
Before we go ahead, Maryann, I would like to just give a shout out to everyone. Siddharth, Liz also has been seeing us going live. We have Sujata who has joined us. We have Sana and some few others who are watching the show. Please comment and say hi so that we can know that who all are watching the show.
Yes. Normally it says how many people are on, but I don't see that today. So I just am not sure.
So, Mar, who is this book for and what is in for them?
This book is for anyone that works with children. So basically everybody. It's for the parents that are having their first child and they want to know what they can do and when they can start. And I will tell you that when a woman is pregnant, from 4 months, she can start, the baby hears sound. And my daughter happens to be 4 months pregnant. And now I've started singing to the baby because the baby can hear your voice. And so those parents, they can read the book and they can find out, what can I be doing? How can I put things in place simply using music? And what are some of the simple activities that I can start? But then it goes all the way through and it breaks down into language building. How does the beginning of language start, and why is music a vehicle to put those tools in place? And so the book's laid out where you start out with bouncing the baby, rocking the baby, talking with the baby, and all these simple activities. So not just for the parents, but then for people that watch other people's children, whether it be as a home daycare provider or people that work in schools, in preschool settings, other early childhood settings, and even children K through 5. What are activities you could be using to enhance all areas of development, to include physical, emotional, social, and cognitive? So this is why I love music, because it's so holistic. You can sing one song and you're not just teaching about what the lyrics are, you're doing a lot of other stuff as well. So this book is for anybody that wants to learn how and why to use music as a tool to enhance lives.
So have you also put in some examples of some songs that you have written in this book? Then how can somebody use this book? Is there a CD with it, or how is it? Or they'll have to go to Spotify to get some music from you? How is that?
Well, I went a step further, Atul. I mentioned the songs, and in the book, every time I mention a song, I'm looking for one now, can see maybe that there's a little music note there next to the title. And at the end of the book is a code. And if you go to the Music with Mare website, into the Mare Mall, you type in Building Brains with Music, that CD pops up, you put in that code, and you download all the songs for free. It's part of the purchase of the book. Part of the purchase.
So they're all free.
Yeah, it's included in the purchase of the book. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, some people, they'll buy a book and the person goes, and here's my song, and here's my song. And then now she wants us to buy her music. No, I'm nicer than that. You bought my book, you get the music. But it is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube. The music's all there, and the book is as well.
Amazing. Well, we have a lot of people who have joined today. We have Mr. Lohit. He has joined us from Bangalore. Hi, Lohit. How are you? Then we have Shamshana from Wow Kids Malur. Hi, Shamshana. How are you, ma'am? Sujata again. Sujata, I'm fine. Great to have you on the show. Liz, I wish you could join us today. We had some challenges. We had Shrisha Vaman Reddy. Hi, Shrisha, ma'am. How are you? So we have a lot of people. I'm just trying to. Sudipta Kumar Sen, sir, how are you? Nice to see you here. All right. So we have Karen. Hi, Karen. All right. Preeti has also joined. Then we have Ist Fee. All right. I'm sure I pronounced the name correct. So Liz says, I will just put on her comment. Now she has a comment. So Maryann's book is a what, why, how for everyone who is engaged with children. What is happening in the
brain,
why we need to use music, how we can use music. Maryann has the treasure trove of talent that gives you the way. So Liz couldn't join us today for technical reasons, but she has given a very good comment. Thank you so much, Liz, for this wonderful appreciation for the work that Maryann is doing for small children. Amazing. Thank you so much.
You see, somebody else is making comments on what Liz says, and I can't see the names of the people. I just
the Facebook is not showing the name.
Yeah. So I see it on my phone.
Let me just try it. Okay, so
it is Preeti, actually.
Yes. So Preeti says, absolutely, Liz. Couldn't agree more. Man has song for everything we can think of for children. everything. So that's a wonderful thing that we've never we could not imagine that you think of a topic for small children and you have a song for it. You can. I've gone to the YouTube. I'm not sure. And recently only I discovered. I think you had put in on your page on songs for pregnant women.
Yes.
When they're, yes. So you had put the whole music, and I was just browsing through, and they're so wonderful, so calming music. I just happened to click one, and they were actually very calming and very nice songs which a mother could listen while the baby is in her womb. So,
yeah, that Mama Moves is I did research, and a lot of the research I did is here in the book on what a woman can do while she's pregnant. And I use a lot of classical music. I use a lot of Chopin because I love his piano for calming, and also some exercises that you can do while you're pregnant along with music, so that you are helping the baby and while you're keeping yourself healthy and listening to the music. There's all styles of music that are good for children. It's the lyrics that could be hurtful or harmful, and the tone of the voice with the music. So all of that's discussed in the book. Another thing in the book that is done is whenever there is a brain fact, you see the picture of the brain, and it'll be in a box. And also the citation of where the brain fact is from, so that if people like that brain fact, they can look it up and find out about the source and get some more depthness into it. Because obviously, you can't put everything from every research down into the book, because then the book would become cumbersome and people wouldn't want to read it. So I made the book like tidbits, snack bites, so that if you want to know more, then maybe that'll be book 2. I'm not sure. But in this book, it's just enough to whet the appetite and also provide a substantive meal of music facts and things you could do. It has games. What games do you play that use music, and the different games that are played around the world? There's a chapter on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and why it's important early on that children hear the music from different cultures in different languages, what that does for the brain and character development. So it goes a lot more in depth into things that you might not have thought of as music, helping to build the brain for a much more, what's the word I want to use? Much more open-minded and well-rounded individual.
Right. Okay, so we have Vashishta Malviya sir also who has joined. We have Rohini Gaud. She has also joined. Hi Rohini. Hi Vashishta ji. How are you? So we have a lot of people, since we are doing it for after a long time. I think we have a lot of people who've joined in today. That's really great. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging. And we move on to our next question.
Yeah, and I want
Maryann,
some questions from people watching too, right?
Friends, yes, you can ask as many questions today on music. What is the importance of music for small children? All right, so Maryann, what is your message for those who are watching or will be watching this recording?
Buy the book.
On benefits of music. Okay, buy the book. Yes, of course.
It's an easy read, but it's also made so that you can look at the title, the table of contents, and say that you want to learn how to start using musical instruments with children. So there's a chapter on using manipulatives, which would be parachutes, shaker eggs, stretchy bands, etc. But then using instruments, how to use them and why to use them. So the message for the people watching is that you can pick up this book and it will help you find the resources, learn what resources to use and how to use them in a way that is easy enough for the non-musician to do it and feel competent. I know often people come up to me and they're like, well, I don't like to use music because I'm a little bit afraid of I'm not good enough, or I don't have a pleasant voice. That doesn't matter. Kids don't care what you sound like. It's about the interaction.
So, Maryann, we have a question from Mr. Lohit. Now, he's asking how music helps to kids to improve their memory and learn the things enjoyably.
Oh, well, that's pretty easy there. Thanks for that question. Just by using music, it activates all the areas of the brain, where some things will use either the left side or the right side. Music uses both sides, but music also uses the different lobes, the frontal, the temporal, the parietal, all the lobes. So the whole brain is lit up when you're using music, and the whole brain is engaged. Now, when you combine that with movement, you're also getting the hippocampus, all of that involved as well. So it's an enjoyable experience because it's music, you're moving and you're having fun.
Absolutely.
But it's also very stimulating. So it helps to remember better.
And there are a lot of other benefits also of music. Music's, it actually lowers down the stress. Children also have their own stress. It improves health. They make music will help children become more happier. And when they play around, when they dance with music, I think their appetite also increases. So they eat very well. And, and in good mood, you can teach them anything. So that's a one lesson that I can tell to all my preschool owners who have joined and they were listening, that ever since we've started using music with MAR program, children have been enjoying and are really, they're learning few concepts very faster because it's all enjoyment. There is no stress involved. It is not, you cannot teach small children in kindergarten by writing on the board. But you can teach them a lot through various interactive activities where they have fun, and music is one of that.
Yes, and I see Siddharth is saying something here about, the large and fine motor skills, improve fine and gross motor skills. And Siddharth, as first of all, welcome and thank you. As Atul had mentioned, I do have songs for everything. And for example, I'll give you an example, if I may. So for bigger kids and then littler kids. So for this week in the Music with Mayor classes, which I do weekly, and I do make available online through Zoom if people want to do them that way. But littler kids, when we want them to learn how to walk, we want them to learn how to jump. That's a lot. That's them controlling their entire body. And that's a little bit more difficult. Understand themselves in time and space, which is spatial temporal reasoning. It's difficult. So I make it easier, but put it in your hands first. So we do a song where we use our hands, and I'll tell them, pretend your hands are feet. We go walking, 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 hop, 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 running, 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 running. Now we stop. Now we stop. So you see how I get silly with the running and, more movement? And then we stand up and do it with the whole body. And then they have a better understanding of what is expected. For the older kids, we want to work on reading skills, but to take that hand and put it on a piece of paper and stay in a confined space, that's hard. Oh, hi, Liz. But if we take that hand first and we do gross motor, big first, like use your finger to draw in the air, make lines and circles anywhere. No pen, no paper, and it's fun. Use your imagination. And then they draw in the air. Then they have better control to bring it down into the paper. Yes. Hi, Liz. So excited to see you.
All right. Friends, we have our guest of honor today, Liz Hinz-Hannon. Let me introduce her to all our audience. Liz established her own business, Music and Moves in Montessori, in 2002 as a method of presenting music based on philosophy and educational methods of Maria Montessori. She has over 25 years of music teaching experience serving local schools and communities in San Francisco area. She directed music in church and classroom in several Bay Area Catholic schools and has created both music theater programs and choir programs for schools and children. Liz designs and presents and facilitates professional development workshops and trainings, developed a method of presenting music to reflect the philosophy and methodology of Maria Montessori. Her workshops demonstrate how to engage children with full range of body movements and to get their voices out. She creates and shares age appropriate music and developmentally appropriate movements. Welcome, Liz.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I've been listening and watching as I've been multitasking.
Great that you tried and you could join us. Great. Welcome. So you are on time, Liz. So we want to ask you some questions about this book.
Okay.
So you wrote an endorsement for this book. Tell us why you believe that.
Well, I was looking for years, ever since I met Maryann 2010, and she started me questioning what I just knew something was missing, but I didn't even know what. But she started me exploring what's happening with the brain, young children, vibrating the skull to stimulate the brain. That just stuck with me since 2010. And so every day I kept thinking, there's something missing, there's something missing. And when Maryann started me on that journey, I knew we needed to help anyone working with young children, teacher or anyone, to know what is going on. And so why we need to continue to use music, and then how. I mean, it's a one-stop shop, easy read. You can pick it up in the middle. It's just magic. It is absolute magic, and it should be in everyone's toolkit, which is why I'm giving it for Christmas. And in January, I'm doing a workshop and having it there and encouraging anyone at the workshop to check it out and use it. It's a no fail, absolute no fail.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Great. That's great. Now, who should read this book in your opinion, Liz?
Anyone.
You have read this.
Anyone who is currently or planning to work with children. Actually, it's good for everyone. I mean,
is it good for Maryann? Is it for parents also? Will they be able to understand and use it?
Oh, definitely for parents.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay.
And for people that are about to become parents, so that they know when that baby reaches about 4 months old, start using music. I'm 4 months in the belly, I'm talking about.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Great. Excellent.
My son and his wife are both musicians, and they started to do that. And of course, my granddaughter, literally grew listening to all their instruments being played. And she is so musical. So she knows if
Maryann,
I hit a different note, and we play that game, and she'll teach me the right note for a song she knows. It's fun. Games. One thing Maryann said the other day was the mirror neurons. We, putting children in front of a device to watch a cartoon or even a person is different than having them sit and look at the joy that you're having while you're doing, whatever finger play or any kind of thing you're doing. They get you. You think you're teaching them music, but they're getting you and your joy of music, and that does other stuff in the brain and body that Maryann can tell you. I mean, it's just magic. It is absolute magic.
That's one sorry. One of the
Sorry,
things,
carry on. Yeah.
one of the things I have in the book is about the experiences for parents and using music and taking the time to enroll in a music class or go to a concert or go to the library where they're singing, because some parents will have this idea that, well, they go to school and the teacher sings there, or somebody else, or they hear it on a video, or I put on YouTube videos. But the difference that I say there is they might be getting music, but they're not getting music with you.
Exactly.
And that's
So we have a question. Is it in regional languages like Telugu or Hindi? So I would like to answer to Sujata. So they are from the United States, so their medium is English. But once you read this book and you see the videos, you'll get a lot of methodologies which you can use to teach in any language. The methodology is more important than the language in which it is taught. So you can have your own Telugu and Hindi rhymes and stories, but the way you teach them to children is what is going to make a difference in their lives. So,
yes.
very good questions. I'm so sorry we don't have it in Telugu or Hindi language. That our medium is English.
Although,
Yes. So observation, when you go to her, even her YouTube channel, I would maybe post it on this. Go to Music with Mare on YouTube channel. Just see the way she teaches small children and how young there are children up to maybe 1 year old, 6 months old children also who come with their mothers, and they enjoy music. That's the beginning. So the methodology is more important.
Can I
So
put it?
you can use the methodology in any language. Telugu
that's
or
an
Hindi.
excellent answer, Atul.
And
Thank you.
also, Maryann is the most generous with her time and talent. I've called her on the phone. I've emailed her. She's
There
always
is no
willing
comparison. There is
to
no comparison.
share her
Absolutely.
magic.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing that I noticed over the years is before we had enough money to have a radio in the kitchen or a stereo, then piped in music, it was a necessity to carry the baby around and walk with the baby singing a song and have the other children follow in the kitchen. And then when we got it all piped in, there was less and less sitting on the lap bouncing with the baby. So Maryann is going back to that, the brilliance of bounce that baby. And I have a lot of teachers from different countries in my workshops, and they're always nervous about trying to sing here in the United States. And I say, sing what you grew up with.
Right.
And the memory as you do it, your grandmother, your friends singing on the walk to school, whatever it is. If you even your national anthem, the pride will come, everything will come through.
Yes.
Your magic will come through. Just sing those. Don't sing what I'm trying to teach you. So
yes.
That's why Maryann's book is so. Oh,
I love you.
Oh, I've been wanting this, and I'm so surprised it happened so quickly. Good for you. But it is so good. It's so easy and non-threatening. You know, when we hear,
I like that, non-threatening.
It is. People are intimidated. So easy. Oh, I can't sing like you. I can't move like you. I can't. Well, don't try to. You don't make the children be like each other. So just be you, and they will pick up on your magic.
Yes. And if I may just go back to that question about languages, although I do not do all the songs in all different languages, because that would be an almost near impossible feat, I do incorporate different languages into my songs. And I do have a specific album titled Everyone Speaks Music. And on there, I do have shapes and colors in Hindi. and a couple of others. I, off the top of my head, can't remember. But on that album, there are 25 plus languages, including Tagalog and Arabic and Spanish. So, and then someone had a question, Atul, about.
So Preeti had written that how can children memorize rhymes so quickly and easily? They might remember a rhyme which can be more than 50 words. We're talking about children in nursery, 3 to 4 year old. So,
I think Preeti has seen that in action, and
yes.
Right, they remember better when you are moving. You're activating the motor cortex, and that's where the hippocampus is for memories. And so when the motor cortex is doing this, your brain is really hyperactive, and so it remembers what you're doing because it's also going in the muscle memory when you're adding that movement. Also, children learn through repetition. So where we might be getting bored with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, they need to hear it about 1,000 times before they understand, oh, 5, what 5 means, and see it different ways. So using rhymes is extremely important because of the rhythm. And that rhythm helps, and balance. We go back to the bouncing again.
Maryann mentions repetition. I think last week I heard you talking about it. That's so important. We adults assume because we get bored with a song that the children are bored. When I was a church music director, I would tell the choir who got bored, the community is waiting. They need to hear it 3 or 4 or 5 times before they decide, I think I might try to sing along. Mm-hmm. And it's so important. Maryann, you'll remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knows what a bill is.
Right. So they made a musical out of it. And when they were Atul, it was a program on television, a song, and it was really clever, and it helped teach parts of speech and what do you call it? Civics, like a bill and a law and an amendment, all to music. Right. So years later, it became a musical. And when they were advertising it on the news, the newscaster said, I passed tests singing those songs in my head. It's a bill, it's only on Capitol Hill, all rhymed. Mm-hmm. And helped them remember the parts of speech. Absolutely, so I thought of that last week, Maryann, when you were mentioning repetition, and she reinforces that important thing in the book brilliantly.
And I was just thinking that when in that age, the songs and the rhymes that you learn, you never forget. Now, even I remember those rhymes even today. You don't have to remind them, and that time of 2 to 5 years is so critical and so important to introduce and give them diverse kind of I will say experiences, and music is very important. Mm-hmm. And a lot of parents and a lot of schools and teachers feel that not exactly music, it's going to be very difficult for them. No, there are age appropriate, developmentally appropriate music which are available, and people like Maryann and people like Liz, they have been teaching these music in their classrooms for kindergarten. So that's a very important thing. Yeah.
Maryann, will you talk about, you mentioned this last week, and I picked it up in the book again, as I read it again and again, that children feel safe, and so do adults, when it's a song they know. I can see it in their face. Oh, I know this.
Yes. And in the music with Mare classes,
it builds confidence level also.
I'd like to address this question, if I may, about sharing the taking of classes. I teach the classes on Tuesday mornings at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a Zoom link. People can send the money, Zelle, Apple, whatever they have, and then I give them the link and they can sign on and participate. However, I also offer them for schools. Like if a school wants to have me come on and do a Zoom music class, but I can write to me. I don't want to take up time now too much with that. And so I would love to have people take advantage of that. I'm happy to do it. Now, Liz, you just asked me, and I lost it. Safety, yes. So in class, I always notice that children, they come to school, they come to Music with Mary class, not school, and they are all into it. Some children, as soon as I do a new song, they walk behind their mom or dad or grandma, and they just watch. And it's inherent, it's in a lot of human beings, because it's part of our fight or flight. We hear something we don't know, our brain immediately goes, are you safe?
That's right.
Are you safe? Do you have to react or retrieve? And so that's what they do. When they repeat over and over and over, the brain starts to learn, I'm safe. It's okay. So if they're walking into a birthday party and it's time for the happy birthday song, if they're hearing the traditional happy birthday to you, right? They walk in, they go, oh yeah, it's a birthday. But if somebody started playing a song that was, it's your birthday today, they'd walk in, they'd be like, I don't know that. What's going on? And they would immediately not feel as safe as the song they were familiar with. So you use in the Music with Merit classes, and what I, taught Preeti and Liz and Karen, who was also watching, is that every week you have the things you do in the same order all the time, and then you deviate. Because you do the bubbles, you sing to Mr. Froggy, you sing your alphabet, you do your sticks, and then you can introduce something new, because now they're feeling really safe, but not only safe, they're feeling competent and capable, because I know these songs, I know how to do them, I could do them well. What else do you got?
Excellent.
And I end, if I do something new, I end with the familiar.
So we have a question from Jasmeet Kaur. She says, ma'am, can you share some videos of taking classes? Well, if you want, you can attend a master class and you can learn how to use Music with Mar program from MarHarman. You can find her on the group. She posts a lot. She is the moderator of this community. You can also comment here. Maryann, why don't you just see the comment and reach out to her if she is interested to take a master class?
Yeah,
right?
and maybe
also, if you want to, Jasmeet, if you really want to see some of the videos, you can go to her YouTube channel and see there's a sea of work that she has been doing over the years. Some videos are 15-20 years when YouTube had just started.
And when I was much younger.
Yeah.
I look so different.
Right.
There was another, provide us aforementioned book. How can we get it?
We have Mr. Malviya, sir. I will send you the information. You can also search for this book on Amazon, Building Brains with Music by MarHarman. So you will find it.
Yeah, and it's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target, and eBay.
These are not available in India, actually. Only we have Amazon, which can actually provide this book. So Target and Walmart is not yet delivering in India.
Well, they're missing out because there's some great people in India.
Absolutely. Amazon is taking full advantage. They're number one now.
Oh, hi, Dr. Kathleen.
Yes, we have Dr. Kathleen who's watching the show. Hi, Dr. Kathleen. So good to have you here. Maryann, one last question which I want to, ask both of you ladies, that there are a lot of, after COVID, we have a lot of, I will say, children who have delayed development, like speech development and other things, especially the speech delays. Now, how can music help these children who have speech delays?
Well, I know that here in the United States, I'm sure Liz has experienced this as well. We're back out working with children. I'm in Florida, and we didn't lock down as much as the rest of the country. So although we had a few months where there were absolutely no classes, we were still doing things online, and then gradually working with the children again. And to me, the big thing was the masks. The masks, I think, are what hurt a lot. The facial expressions were covered, the mouth was covered. So children were not able to see the expressions or the pattern and movement of the mouth. I worked with a lot of children that are on the spectrum. And when I went in to work with them, they were not masking the children because it was more a danger and detriment to their the strides that they had made. And they were more concerned about these children getting pushed even further behind. So they would wear the face cover, the plexiglass, so that their faces could be seen and their mouths could be seen and they could be heard. Okay. So now when I go into schools, it's not that, I mean, the children have lost a lot of social skills, and the teachers look like deers in headlights. They like trying to catch up, and it's just so much stress on them. They did not have the interaction with one another to learn little things like how to talk to people, how to play with somebody. All of that was missing. So now with music, when we teach games like Chugga Chugga or Let's Go Zoodie, games where they have like My Morning Strut, where they have to dance with each other and dance alone. This is helping them learn to connect to one another, face each other, mirror neurons, produce that oxytocin and those endorphins so that they can learn to play with other people. So that's what was missing, because even if children were going out and being safe, they weren't really interacting with one another. They're staying 6 feet apart with a mask on, you know. So now through music, we can help build up those skills. On my YouTube channel, I have a lot of songs I wrote for speech therapists and for children. I work for Johns Hopkins Early Steps program. These are all children from 0 to 3 who have developmental delays. The number of children with developmental delays from before COVID to now has increased 3 times.
Absolutely.
So if there were 20 kids, there are now 60 kids.
60 kids.
These parents were at home with children that already were identified with a learning disability, and they didn't have the skills. But through coming online with me once a week, I was teaching the parents more than the children. And that's one of the things about the Music with Mayor class. People think that, well, it's a music class for children. It is. It is a music class for parents as well. And I think it's 50-50. Peter Alsop, who's been on this show, and Dr. Becky Bailey from the I Love You Rituals have come and observed me. And they both said, this is more for the parents than it is for the kids. Because the children, they might not sit still and pay attention to me the whole while. But if the parents do, then when they go home, they can do those activities anytime they want. And that, going back to the very beginning, is one of the reasons I wrote the book. And the most important thing to me is that the parents now can say, what did she say in class about sticks? Wait, that's chapter 2, and look it up and then do it. So using these activities, go to YouTube, look up the videos I have for speech, practice those with the kids. I make some of the videos so the children can see them, and they don't have to be readers. They could become the emergent readers or reading ready people and just practice the sounds. All of that's going to catch up. All studies show that children have this plasticity that up until the age of 7, we can fix all of these things.
Absolutely. That's the important thing. That don't give up.
The best tool.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I say 2 things, Maryann?
Yeah, why not? Please, Liz. Yes.
Yeah. As I said in the beginning, Maryann started me exploring, and she talked in 2010 about, 29, crossing the midline. I didn't know about that. When I started putting more of Maryann in my circles, this is what I heard from my teachers. I feel better. So, and I saw the look on their face. They said, something's changed. I said, everything's changing. And if they engaged in the movement, they're the teachers that said to me, I feel better at the end of your circles. I said, it's because we're moving differently, purposely, across the 3 midlines. The other thing is vocables. I teach in a school owned by an Indian woman and has a Mandarin class. So I have a lot of different dialects. And so particularly when I want to teach a new song, I start with the vocable. The first one is ba, because it's the easiest. And then Maryann taught me just recently D, just the D. It engages the teeth, the tongue, and the lips. And it helps get their voice out if they don't have to worry about lyrics, because the lyric, even for those who know the language well, puts a picture in their mind. So now you've got mixed focuses, and I tested this on my housemate, who's a retired 8th grade language arts teacher. And she said, there's too much going on in my mind. I said, what are you seeing? Oh, I'm seeing the farm. I'm seeing, and I'm the kind of person that not only sees it, I hear it, I feel it, I can smell it. So vocables, and then Maryann's movement, those moves, doing moves, the different purposeful movements.
Purposeful, yes.
Fabulous.
All right, so we have some more people who've joined. Hi, Veda Kata. She has also joined us. Namita Rao. Hi, Namita ma'am. How are you? Rita Chatterjee has also joined us. So Rita has a question. Would be glad to know more on how music can help children with weaker memory and poor concentration. So this is her question. She would be glad to know how music can help children with weak memory and poor concentration.
Okay, so that's back to what I said about that music activates both sides of the brain. And when you add movement to the music, then you are getting more areas of the brain involved. So when you do that, it becomes easier to comprehend, you understand it more easily, and you retain it longer. Everybody remembers things that were set to music. Now, some of you are not as old as I and Liz, but I can still remember jingles from when I was a young girl, like my baloney has a first name, it's OSCAR, right? Like, why do I need to know that? But I do. Or in my audience, sometimes I'll say, here's a story about a man named, and the whole audience goes, Brady, and not only do they remember the name of that family, but they immediately see 9 squares and they know who's in the middle. So the use of music for memory is that strong, that it activates pictures, it activates sounds. So use music. somebody had mentioned something about Preeti, about 50 words. Phone numbers. A child can't remember a 7-digit number easily, under the age of 5 or 6, but they can remember a 7-tone melody. So if you want a child to remember her phone number or his phone number, sing it to him. 6474235. I remember that, but if you tell a child 647, they're not going to get it, or they might. Using it for that is going to help you. Anything you want them to remember. Concentration. Talk about concentration. Just 4 minutes of physical activity increases the ability to focus by 50%. Now, not forever, just for a short period of time. But if you want a child to remember something, get them up doing some brain gym exercises, some songs like I have, jump, jump, and they have to move and listen and do that. Then when you sit them down, you're going to have their attention, and whatever you say, they're going to learn it more easily and remember it longer.
Amazing. Great. So, Maryann, one more. We have Sujatha Paidi. She's asking, ma'am, can we help with music for special children?
Yes. I work with the children on the spectrum. I work with children that are developmentally delayed, either cognitively or speech, and they connect with music. The difference is whatever I tell you for a so-called average learning child, you just have to increase it and do more of it. So the same activity that a regularly abled child can be used for them to learn something, you could use the same activity for a developmentally disabled child, but you just need to do more of it. And you also have to be aware of what their limitations may be, so make it a little bit easier for them.
I used to volunteer for children with special needs, and I stopped doing that. And 4 years later, this little boy had cerebral palsy. 4 years later, I saw him, knelt down and said, "Hi, do you remember me?" And he just, nothing. And then I said, "Watch." And I did just the movements of a simple little song for Halloween. And he looked up, smiled, sang the song, and said, "Hi, Liz."
There you go. Later. That is awesome. I love that story. Yes. That is awesome.
Magic.
All right. So we have a comment from Shirisha Vaman Reddy. She says, I'll just put that comment here. Thank you so much, Atul sir, for introducing us with this book to us. I wish these music videos help our children understand things very easily and compared to normal explaining classes. Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely. These books, music and movement is actually a next level of learning. Your children learn things faster when music and movement is part of their classroom, and yes, more impactful for children who have speech delays and other delays. They are more impactful for them. So we have one more comment here. I'll just check who has given this comment. All right, so Rita Chatterjee, she writes, we'll try to implement more of it as concentration issues are a real concern, especially post-COVID and an era of so much of electronic gaming. Yes, she has it right. A lot of use of gadgets, and small children are hooked up to devices. Actually, music and movement is one important thing which can actually help their physical development as well.
Yes.
To a great extent, even in the classroom, outside the classroom. And not only that, we enjoyed music during the lockdown also. We used to play it loudly and the whole family used to dance. Sometimes that was a stress buster for everyone, actually.
And in the book, and it's a good closing comment, is that in the book I talk about that, about making those family moments and being an advocate for music in our schools. That once you read this book and you're like, oh yeah, this is great. This is what I want to do. You know, there's a chapter on just for joy and total well-being, you know, and taking that time for the family to just make music together. You don't need videos, you know, even like playing cards and board games and stuff like that is great stuff. But you learn it and you apply it to your family and then you do nothing. No, you notice that all of a sudden there is not a band in your school anymore. The children are not having a music teacher visit. Become an advocate. You've read this book. You know how important music is. Open your mouth and advocate for music. And the book gives you things you can do to advocate for music. It gives you the information you can bring to a board meeting or go to talk with the principal. Find ways to help keep music in the lives of our children. So it really frustrates me that schools cut music.
Oh, me too.
They cut music before they cut other things, and I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, there's benefits for everything. And music teaches children to be, on the whole, a better person all around.
Absolutely.
And to cut it out.
Not even music as songs, even playing an instrument and learning as early as, you know, with the kazoos and with the different things that you try on, there's so much impactful to the overall development of the child, especially to the brain. Because see, the whole thing is that even if you're learning an instrument, you have to always keep in mind that what's coming next. So you have to think ahead to stay in rhythm. And children do understand it. And the best age is between 2 to 5 years. This is the time you can teach anything. You can develop all these things of music and movement, and they can help them lifelong. This can be real stress busters when they grow up.
Well,
teaching music is so incredibly important at early age.
The last brain fact in the book is that nearly 100% of past winners in the prestigious Simmons Westinghouse competition, which is for science and technology, in math, science, and technology for high school students, play one or more musical instruments.
Wow.
So almost every single person that wins that award is also a musician. And Atul, Liz, you both know I still sing in a rock band. And all the guys,
amazing.
all the
Yesterday
guys in
night.
the band are doctors. They're all doctors. People that learn to play an instrument, learn to think for themselves, perform by themselves, perform as a group. They learn how to make mistakes. They learn how to fix their mistakes. They learn how to make themselves better at it.
Amazing.
My gosh, it's so much. I love it. Can't say enough. And Liz is holding up the book. Yay.
All right.
And also, you learn not to take your mistakes so personally. I hit a wrong note. I hit the wrong key. My reed split. My string is out of tune.
So amazing lessons.
Just keep on going. And Atul, we should, talk about, I know a lot of the new WOW Kids families signing on. We need to, let people know that, yes, I can do a training for your entire staff.
Absolutely, we can do that. Definitely.
You could become certified to use the program. And I'm always there to help you. Right, Liz?
Absolutely.
Yes. Done. It's been 1 hour, 5 minutes. We usually close the program within 40-45 minutes. It's been a wonderful talk today. Any signing off comments from you, Mar? Anything that you want to tell our audience?
Well, if I really believe what I say, then I should say, everybody buy the book. You'll be glad you took a look. Building brains with music. I just made that up. That's my new jingle.
Bravo. Bravo.
Amazing.
Best investment.
All right, it's time to sign off.
Oh, and
from today's
remember that the
wonderful
investment,
session.
I'm sorry, but remember, because some people signed on later, the investment of the cost of the book also includes the music. So if you buy the book,
very
you don't have
important.
to
I didn't
buy
know
the
this,
music.
Maryann.
Included in the cost, you get a code and you download every single song that is recommended in the book. You don't need to go
Amazing.
buy it.
That's a brilliant offer. Nobody gives that.
No,
Nobody
I'm the
gives.
first.
Excellent. All right. So, time to say goodbye. Friends, we had an amazing book launch. You heard the author of the book, MarHarman herself, along with our special guest, Liz Hinz-Hannon. Thank you, Liz and Maryann, to joining the show. And I also thank all the viewers on Facebook for taking your precious time to watch the show live.
Thank you.
Our best wishes to everyone until we meet again. Thank you. Bye-bye.